when you are job hunting in Nigeria, there's a possibility for you to make certain mistakes, and here on the Eccentric Side, we have decided to find a way to help you stop making these mistakes. With me here is Toluwase Olaniyan, a recruiter, and he's here to tell us the do's and don'ts of job hunting in Nigeria. Welcome to the Eccentric Side.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thanks for having me.
So let's go right into it. Why HR? Why recruiting? Have you always wanted to be a recruiter to help people find jobs?
Okay, so thank you so much, Victor. Good to be answering this question. It's actually started from passion, right? So it's a thing of passion, and it's also a thing that stemmed out of me being in a fix, right? So I didn't graduate from the university with a good grade. In fact, I had like issues graduating in the first place, and I understood that a lot of people are also in this fix, right? I was a super productive person as I knew myself then, pardon me. And so I thought about it and said, how do we then, after I left school, I said, how do we then help other people, right? Who probably did not graduate with good grades, who are probably looking for their first job. Some people even graduated with first class, but they're looking for their first job. So I then started a company called My Placement Africa. And the focus of that company was to help place interns, help people on internship, and help people particularly find their job, find their first job. Okay. Everyone would agree with me that the unemployment scourge around makes it very difficult for people to find their first jobs. So My Placement Africa was set up, and our focus was to help people find their first job, and we actually did quite a bit. So we then got to that point where people who are looking for their first job have very terrible resumes and all of it, right? So the next thing was, okay, so how do we help them? We then went into CV review and training, and that's how HR and human capital development started for me as a person, right? I was able to then recruit people for organization, help them review their CVs, and the talent have then grown over a long period of time.
So while you were talking, you mentioned first jobs. So I, for one, am someone that is job hunting. And when you look at some of these job listings, you see someone looking for someone under the age of 25 and they're looking for 5 years experience, 6 years experience. And I'm wondering, where was I supposed to get this experience from? So this kind of situation, how did you breach it while you were helping people get their first jobs?
Okay, so fantastic. Thank you so much, Victor. Experiences, right, are available everywhere and in everything that we do.
Okay.
Right. Now, one of the first experience that I had was helping my dad sell in his cement workshop, or cement shop. What I then said on my first resume was that I was a sales rep helping this company sell. Okay. Now, what we do is we ask for what are the relevant experience or skills that you have. If you've helped someone to stay in the shop before, it means that you have sold, you have done customer service, you have done sales, which means that you have basic knowledge of how to sell and how to interact with customers. So this is an experience you should throw away. It's an experience you should leave out of your CV, particularly when you're just starting. Now put together all of those experiences and then share. So it could be that your three months IT, those short-term jobs, you're able to put them together because there's some things called transferable skills. And those transferable skills, you can move them from one job to the other. A lot of people who want you to work for them do not just want the knowledge from the organization. They don't want the name of the organization. They want your ability that you are bringing from the organization into their own organization to be able to do what they want you to do. And that's why they're asking for that experience. So if you worked at as a bartender somewhere, you have done this, you have done that. If you work as a bartender, it means you have customer service experience, right? And if you're applying for a customer service job, it means that, if you're able to sell alcohol to people that are angry and hungry, it means you can sell anything, right? So that's why we're then able to help people put together their experiences to be able to get a a proper first job. And for those who do not have any experience at all, we're then able to then advise accordingly to say, do you want to try this? Do you want to try that? And I also just recommend to people, you probably want to do like short volunteering jobs that sort of put you out and help you gather the experience. Because even you, if you get on a fast-paced job without any form of experience, you will struggle. So as to avoid that struggle, you're able to say, okay, fine, let me do this internship. And it's best done, or it's better done rather, when you're probably still very much in school, or you're very much in a comfortable space where you're saying, let me just volunteer for you, let me intern for you. And all of that, just put it together, which is why abroad they have the school and work model. Do you understand? Where you're able to, by the time you're leaving school, you have some volume of experience.
So as it stands in Nigeria, 33% of Nigerian youths are unemployed as of 2022. So when this high percentage of people are unemployed, we are bound to go the extra mile and take some drastic decisions. Now, I want to know, what is your opinion about sending your CVs out to family members, friends, or people that may or may not have connections so they can help you get jobs? What do you have to say to this kind of situation?
Okay, so interestingly, it's been a norm, right? People just literally photocopy their CVs like revival flyer and share around, right? It also stems from the fact that when you ask people what kind of job are you looking out for, they are very quick to say any kind of job, right? And you looking out for any kind of job is one of the biggest problems you would encounter, because I have 6 kind of jobs. And they are all any kind of job. So I have a security job, I have a driving job, I know you can drive, I have a customer service job. I'm not sure which one to send to you. So I send everything to you. But unfortunately, no, you're actually looking out for a job in technology. But I don't know, because you've told me I'm looking for any kind of job. So the effect of you photocopying your CV and moving around is that you would get any kind of job. You getting any kind of, then applying for any kind of job, help land you any kind of job. Now, so let's take it a step backward. You probably then want to find other means to apply for the kind of job that you want to do, right? Clearly define and build a track record around those jobs. So take, for example, right? You know that you want to be in, you want to work in the kitchen. Right? You know you just want to work in the kitchen. Can you then first get a first job by working in a small canteen and then grow over time as you build your skill? Now, photocopying your CV and sharing to people, yes, is good, but you also need to then be able to tell them what kind of job you are applying for, you're looking for, right? You also want to map the kind of people you're handing your resumes to. So your uncle who works in a bank, you're giving him the CV, because it's not advisable to use one CV for all kind of jobs.
So we should have multiple CVs.
Yes, which is now in the area, so which is why you should not look for any kind of job in the first place. So if you're looking for a customer service job, you have a resume that is sort of designed to suit that purpose. You're looking for a marketing job, it might look alike, but you now have one that looks same. Maybe you studied engineering, however, you're also open to engineering jobs. Your customer service CV will not look like your engineering CV. Right. So then have that one. And this person has the potential of helping me get a job in an engineering company. You hand him that one. This person has the potential of helping me get a job in customer service. You hand them that one. So they know what they are looking out for. So they're not looking for any kind of job for you. You're not stressing them. You're not stressing yourself. You're building, you are allowing them streamline what they are looking out for you, or else they would eventually send you any kind of job. And by the time, you interview for any kind of job and you get any kind of job, you leave anytime soon before you fancy.
Okay, so my next question for you will be: what are your rules and regulations? Like, what's the right way to search for a job? What should we not do? What should we do?
Okay, so so I probably don't want to start with a very funny adage, but I think I would
Okay.
then do a funny adage. And they said that a woman who is on fire does not wait to wear the full clothes before going to rescue the child, right? So which simply puts that desperate time requires desperate measures.
Yeah.
And if you're job hunting largely, a lot of time you are not in a good place to define how you want to look out for jobs. But I would then recommend some extremely productive models or some extremely productive ways to hunt for jobs. So number one, I'd say that you perfectly leverage the digital space, right? Perfectly leverage digital space, use Google, LinkedIn, especially Google Jobs. Google for the kind of jobs that you want to do. You would read better the job description and what they want, and then you apply. On LinkedIn, you would see what they want and you apply. You can also go on job sites, a whole of them, and then you apply directly. Now, what this does to you is you understand the things that employers are looking out for. You ask yourself, do I have this thing? Oh, I don't have. How can I then begin to build this thing? So people are looking for UI, UX designer. You're able to say the kind of skills in demand. People are looking for UI, UX designer. You're looking for product designer. You're saying, oh, what is this product design? I'm a customer service person. Can I do product design? Oh, what companies do product design training? Oh, what scholarships are available? What free trainings are available? You take the training, then you apply for the job. But if you are giving people your CV, and you're just sitting at home, it's tough to know the skills in demand. So if you go on Google, you go on LinkedIn, you go on job sites, you are able to then know the kind of job you want to apply for and the kind of skill required, the kind of person they are looking for on that job, right? So that's one. Number two is I also recommend that you go on the company's career site. I have followed the company for 6 years, trying to break into them before, right? Always looking at their career sites, but they never have anything that look like what I probably want to engage them on, right? Until they eventually had, right? So go on the company's career site that you're looking to work with. Some are not updated. You probably just wanted to copy their contact emails and send them and say, I have been following your site for a while. Your career portal have not been updated. Do you have openings at this time in the companies that you want to, right? And lastly is I recommend that you build a solid network of people and speak to people. So we spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, on Facebook, spend a lot of time on Instagram. As a job seeker, you can transfer that energy into LinkedIn and begin to talk to HR professionals, talk to job owners, put yourself out there so where people are able to see you and they're able to see the skills that you have as you are actively looking out for a job, right? So with that, you're also able to speak to people and say, I am looking for this kind of job. Peradventure you run into, please let me know. And then people then refer you. So these days, a lot of recruiters we love referrals because I would ask you, is this person okay? If you say the person is okay, right, then I've had a baseline that I'm coming up with, and then like jumping on. But if you cannot guarantee the person's quality, that's trouble for me. So I say, okay, give me someone you can recommend. And once you recommend, I do my basic check and I move. So these few ways are ways that are a lot more effective and a lot more. They are a lot more effective, so to say, to you to helping you get a job.
Okay, so let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Is this video making sense? And don't forget to subscribe to the Eccentric Side Plus. Fearless. So back to you, Toluwase. I know as a job recruiter, you'd have seen some certain weird ways that people use to search for jobs. So I'd like to know, What's the funniest thing you have seen in the job application process as a recruiter?
So really interesting one. And it happens a lot of time. So I'm not sure which is the funniest, but I know one is the weirdest.
Okay.
The guy had just random, we're not even recruiting, he attached all of his credential from his birth certificate to his state of origin, his primary school certificate, everything, NYSC. He graduated from he did OND, then went to, he had lower credits in his OND,
Okay.
then went somewhere to do BSc and had a pass. And not bothered about the class of degree. He attached everything and said, I would like to work in your Ministry of Finance. And sent.
I don't understand. So, in case if you, I think what he was, maybe what he was thinking was, in case if you have a connection, you should help him connect. You don't need to ask him for other documents.
So
he
he
helped you think.
So he attached everything, and there was no job, there was no application, there was no.
Cover letter.
He just attached everything.
No CV.
And his CV was very, very funny and very empty. Right? I'm like, I cannot even tell what you can. So he just wrote. So what he did on the CV was he wrote the name of the company he had worked. That's it. Just wrote the banks. He had worked in like 3 banks as tellers. Just wrote the banks, and that's all.
And he submitted.
And submitted. Attached to the document. There's no document you want that he did not attach. State of origin, birth certificates. I think he literally scanned everything he had in his house and just sent.
Attached everything and sent.
One funny one used. His email address is a Bible verse, and he in the comment section he preached a bit about why you should why you should consider him for a job, and then sent. One other funny one, which we consider funny, is the whole body of the email, in terms of, dear sir, please, trust this email meet you well. I'm applying for the role. Everything was in the subject box.
So you did not know how to write an email.
Everything was in the subject box, and the body of the email was empty. Very funny email too. So these are some of the ways. And I'm sorry if already you're applying for a job and you don't know how to send a simple email. It's a red flag already, because that's basic. That you don't even know how to write to us. And so not that we don't want to hire you because you don't know how to write an email, but we have found other people, or we're seeing other people who can write email and who can do the job. Should we then leave them to take you who don't know how to write an email? So first, you probably need to go learn to write an email properly, learn to use the computer properly, because the competition is extremely steep, Victor. The competition is tough. The competition is tight. So you must, as a matter of must, learn some basic things, understand some basic things around job hunting, some basic skills before you even get into the job, or else you'll just be wasting energy.
Okay, so as we come to a close of this video, how would you recommend, because the unemployment rate is high, and at the same time we have a lot of people out there trying to take advantage of these youths that are honestly trying to get jobs. So how would you recommend you find identify scam job offers and scam job interviews?
Okay, so I'll start with a very short story. So a friend of mine came from Niger State. He lectures in a university in Niger State, and he said to me that I got an invitation for a job, and he told me where the job was. Unfortunately, he had gotten to Lagos where he told me about this job, and I looked around the environment. He said that he was invited for interview, and I wasn't sure what potentially, kind of job he would get around that place. So I told him, Chief, just be calm when you get there. Whatever happens, don't cause quarrel, just be fine. Only for him to get there. And he entered into the room and he saw a large seminar, a large number of people in a seminar, and they say, if you bring 2 people and another 2 people bring 2 people, you will buy a yacht in 10 in 10 days. Another one, yeah, my very good friend, he builds websites, and so someone reached out to him and said, his friend reached out to him, and she said that, her company is looking for a web developer who can help them push their product. I said, okay, no problem. So he flew in from Port Harcourt, and the whole dressed up, suited up, and went straight, printed the proposal, went straight to the interview place, and lo and behold, so the lady came to usher him in. As the lady was ushering him in, she went away and disappeared. And for 5 years, they did not talk. Because, he got there and it was, I just got back from Dubai last week. When I joined this thing, I was doing very well. And so now, how do you identify scam jobs, yeah?
Yeah.
Some people are not just scam. They are looking out for, potential clients, they're looking for potential multi-level marketing people and all of it. But then first thing you need to ask is, did I apply for this job? So do a job research on the job that you have been invited for, right? Because you don't just wake up. So they say you are being invited to interview with the MD CEO on a job you did not apply for. And you want to interview with the head MCO, or you want to interview with the HR. You probably want to reply that email asking that what role are you interviewing for? And if you cannot find the company on the internet, ask, please, can they share the company's website with you? So that way you're able to know, not just get a text.
But, sorry to cut you.
Yes.
But because we are urgently looking for jobs, we are about to apply for a lot of jobs. So how do you now keep tracks with jobs that you may or may have not applied for? Because someone like me, as a job seeker, I may have applied for like 4 or 5 jobs every day. So how then do I keep tabs of these companies I may have applied for and be able to know that, okay, I've applied for this one in the past, or I've not applied for this one in the past?
Okay, so thank. Now the thing is, if you have applied for the job, but you have forgotten, now they are inviting you for an interview, look through the essentials, look up the name of the company, look out for the job title they say you're interviewing for, and look out for the person that would interview you. So this is how to do it, right? First, the name of the company. Put it on Google. You will find it somewhere, maybe Nairaland, somewhere you would find the name of the company. If you cannot find the name of the company, first red flag.
Okay.
Who will be interviewing you when you get into the company, right? The HR, try to also research. So if you cannot find the name of the company anywhere, there's a very high chance that you probably won't be interviewed by someone serious. Now, what you can also do is to look at the email address. You can probably see the combination of names in the email address, right? You can see the combination of names. So you can copy combination of names, put in Google, and see if you will find who bears this name, right? If you cannot, it's not that bad that the company who wants to hire you does not have any social presence, right? A number has sent you a text. If I get there, who will I call? Call the number before you leave and ask basic questions. Who am I meeting with? What role am I being interviewed for? What does the company do? Because I cannot find details on the internet, right?
Yeah.
You get an invite. So yes, agreed, you might have forgotten where you went or what you applied for,
yes.
right? But you've gotten an invitation. Now follow up on that invitation. It's a good thing that you've gotten an invitation. Congratulations. Now follow up on that invitation to ask basic questions, right? Now, the questions you will ask in 2 minutes will save you the 2 hours trip to go, 2 hours trip to come back. It will save you the energy that you're burning. It will save you money. It will save you a whole lot of things, right? So you probably, once you get the interview invite, you want to do like basic research to be sure that you're not going to burn out and you're not going to waste your energy.
Okay.
Fearless.
Okay, so we have been talking to Toluwase Olaniyan, a professional job recruiter here in Nigeria, and he has been giving us all the tips and tricks on how to and the right way to apply for a job right here in Nigeria. If this video has made sense, to drop your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the Eccentric Side Plus. Toluwase,
Yes,
thanks a lot for agreeing to be a guest.
thank you for
We
having
really
me here.
appreciate
It's such a pleasure.
So, any last words for our viewers before we go?
Okay, so super interesting times that we are, and this interesting time require interesting measures in terms of how to then go job hunting. But two things that I would say, right, is that number one, we begin to acquire skills that the labor markets need, right? Nobody wants you to come work with them and sit down, right? So what skill do you have, right? Do you have a photography skill? Do you have design skill? Do you have, those core skills? What are the soft skills that you have? Begin to gather a lot of skill, right? We've gone beyond, I have a university degree, I have a certificate, right? It won't work anymore. So let's begin to gather skill. And as you gather skill, also learn to put yourself out there. Learn to apply yourself and put yourself out there. By putting yourself out there, I mean apply for a job, build network, talk to people, try to gain exposure. All of these would work together for you. It happens, but it's quite tough for a random person not knowing you to just call you up and say, oh, I want to give you a job, right? Even when you say, I want to give you a job, they ask, what can you do? But what can you do is to evaluate the skills that you have, right? So two things I would say: build skills, soft and technical skills across board that helps you to deliver more, and always put yourself out there and put yourself out there in the face of people until you're accepted and you get what you want.
A lot of things to learn from there. Don't forget to subscribe to the Eccentric Side Plus. My name is Uche Odogu. Until next time, stay eccentric.